Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop summation for all your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. Alrighty, so here we are on Sunday the 2nd of April 2017. I hope everybody had a wonderful April Fool's Day yesterday, and let's get started with the releases. Alright, so let's get the big one out of the way for this week. So in the latest batch of simulator releases that are scheduled for 2017, we've got the first one out of the blocks, and that would be no less than X-Plane 11. So X-Plane 11, for those who may have been under a rock, has been in a beta, in an open beta for around about 4 months now, and has finally made its way. It was in release candidate at the early part of last week, and then finally at the end of the week they transitioned to the full release. So the full version is available now. Now X-Plane 11 is trying to offer a lot of stuff. So it is a full 64-bit sim. It's offering overhauled and updated 3D cockpits, lighting effects, and promising a better living world than ever before. So it's very interesting. It still has a lot of the legacy content in there as well, and is somewhat backwards compatible with some of the legacy content, which is always kind of cool. But in terms of how it actually overall looks, it's not looking too bad. I mean, I only messed with this at the early part of the beta. I haven't had a chance to fire it up since transitioning to full release. So it'd be very interesting to see what's changed now. So hopefully I should be able to bring something to you guys soon. But as I said, for those who are interested in trying it out, there is a free demo which is updated to the latest version, which is always cool. And then you can try out the full version if you so desire as well. So yes, available now for that one, coming in at $60 or your regional equivalent, available from the X-Plane website or from your favorite flight sim retailer, available now. Alright, moving on to other releases for this week, and it's a fairly light week this week, but we did see some pretty big things kick out this week. So we're going to start off with probably the smaller release that probably everybody else has forgotten about, but I do always like to highlight this one because these guys again produce some weird and wonderful stuff. Batavia has released their latest release as well this week, so this is the Convair XB46. So this was a one-of-a-kind aircraft. It was built during the late 1940s, sort of sort of designed and manufactured in 45, 46 to fulfill a late war requirement, and really it didn't. I mean, it never got beyond the prototype. It was the one prototype was the only one that was ever built, because it was superseded by the XB45 Tornado, or the B45 Tornado, and then by the B47 Stratojet. So it had a very short-lived career, but it served as a very interesting test bed, and again one of those early pioneers of jet-powered aviation. It's a straight-winged, slender fuselage bomber. As I said, only one was ever made. It had some very interesting aerodynamical properties. Went through a lot of testing, but as I said, it was one of those things that came out with it still had the piston powered design philosophy, but just with jet engines. But it still proved to be a very interesting technological demonstrator. So yes, as I said, it's one of those rarities of the aviation world, and it's great to see some of these rarities becoming alive inside the sim world as well. So Batavia have come this out. The external model is looking absolutely beautiful. The cockpit's not too bad. Usual Batavia, sort of good. It's solid. May not be the best. It's definitely not the worst, but it's, as I said, overall looking not too bad. So yes, you can take this really unusual aircraft to the skies in your sim if you so desire. Available now, fully compatible with FSX and FSX Steam and P3D. All its variations available now from your favorite flight sim retailer. Alright, moving on with other aircraft releases, and this one is one that I know a lot of people and I myself have been waiting a really long time for. So Dino Cataneo has released his Eurofighter Typhoon, and it looks stunning, like absolutely insane. It really does. So this is the Eurofighter Typhoon, which came out of the EFA and the EF 2000 programs, is a multinational fighter designed and manufactured in Europe. Yeah, consortium combining Alina Ermaki, which is also Leonardo, known as them since 2017, so since 2016 actually, and the Airbus Group and BAE Systems all combined together to perform the Eurofighter company. Now they produced what is arguably one of the most amazing and greatest fighters of the early part of the 21st century, and it had a lengthy design process, sort of going through the 1980s and 90s until its final revolutions in the early 2000s, having its combat debut in 2011. So yes, but enough on its history. This is a Dino Cataneo product, which means that it is insanely amazing. Just straight out of the box, you guarantee it's going to be good. Now, this is a payware product. He's been branching out into payware over the last couple of years, and you really just if you like this aeroplane in any way, shape, or form, you need to go and get it. It is insane. Now, a couple of notes for this one as well. Now, it is TACPack compatible, so it will work for those of you who do like blowing stuff up with TACPack inside your sim. Now, a couple of notes though. Although it does work across the ESP platforms, so FSX, FSX Steam, and P3D, certain functions will only work in P3D or with TACPack purchase as well. So, for example, if you want the fully operational radar that you do radar weapons and weapons loadout, you will need TACPack. And if you want the pirate and the which is the infrared tracking system and the forward-looking infrared imagery functions, if you want them to work, you do need P3D version 2.5 or better. So just to be aware of that. So some of the functionalities are unfortunately not available in FSX, simply because of the way the sims are designed. That's just simply a fact of life. But overall, is that if you want it, even without those features, you still would really want this. If you love this aeroplane as much as I do, you will definitely be wanting this. So yeah, looking amazing. The video that you're watching, incidentally, has been provided by fellow YouTuber Belgeode, who was also part of the beta program. So he was lucky enough to be one of the beta testers and got to mess around with it. And in his words, it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous and insanely amazing. So keep an eye out on his channel for his first impressions of that one coming out shortly. Probably be before mine because I'm still getting some TACPack stuff sorted out over on my system. But as I said, overall, this thing is looking absolutely amazing. I've been waiting for it a long time. Really excited to see it, and available now. So it's available now, coming in at €25 or your regional equivalent. As the time of release of this video, it is only available at Sim Market, but Dino has confirmed it is going to be available at Flight Sim Store and the FS Pilot shop as well within the next sort of few days. So keep an eye out there if you do have a preferred store. So that is available now. Alright, and continuing on with the releases this week, this time moving into scenery releases. The guys over at Orbix, who've been a bit quiet lately, have come out with two new releases. So two releases they've been hinting at for quite some time. They have both hit this week, and wow, do they look amazing. So the first one is, of course, Innsbruck Airport. So the most infamous, possibly the most famous or infamous, I think possibly the most famous or infamous approach in the flight simulator world is, of course, the approach into runway 08 at Innsbruck, so Lima Oscar Whiskey India, for those who may know it by its ICAO. This looks absolutely amazing, nestled in the Alps, and the guys have just modeled this insanely beautifully. So this has come from Jared Marshall, was the lead developer, and just looks batshit insane. Like, this thing is just incredible. There's no other way to actually put this. The level of detail that's been gone into here is just mind-blowing, even by Orbix standards. It really is insane. So we've got the fully detailed airport as well. So you've got fully detailed airport, then you've got the entire cityscape of the town of Innsbruck as well. You've got beautifully detailed photoreal scenery with resolution up to 30 centimeters and 10 meter terrain meshes included with this as well. So just wow. Over 160 landmarks and points of interest are included inside the coverage area as well. As I said, there's a little bit of a map there, but it's the entire valley and a couple of the surrounding valleys as well. So you can actually go through and just get some really amazing flying experiences going through some of these valleys. It's just amazing. It really is. Along with that as well, you've got over 20 custom bridges and overpasses have been modeled beautifully with this one. Custom ground service equipment for this one. High definition building textures and vehicle textures and AI textures as well, along with 5 additional heliports in the surrounding area. So you can go fly into Innsbruck, and then you can take a sightseeing helicopter trip out to some of the amazing mountains and ski resorts in the area. So as I said, this is looking absolutely insane. It really is. It's just the guys from Works have really outdone themselves here. It's just, yeah, nothing else to say really. It is just beautifully amazing, with a beautifully detailed setup. It's just wow, just wow. It really does. It blows the other one that's available right now just completely out of the sim. It really does. So yep, there you go. Available now, coming in from the Orbix Direct website, coming in at $40 or your regional equivalent. Available now. And of course, in the second release from Orbix, this time we saw the release of San Diego International Airport. So San Diego is the busiest single runway airport in the US, and is right on the Mexican border, and adjacent to the harbor as well. And again, this has just been modeled to absolutely incredible detail. Again, fully includes not just the airport but the surrounding cityscape as well. And they've even put helipads on the skyscrapers in and around the city of San Diego as well. Like, that's cool. That's the cool kind of attention to detail that we really love to see from such an amazing developer like Orbix. So yeah, great to see this one. This airport's been operating since the late 1920s, and it's just grown, and it's just got so much rich history in the area as well. And for those who really enjoy flying in that part of America, you're going to really love to do this, particularly sort of hopping just across the border into some of the Mexican airports is just absolutely insane. Again, beautifully detailed photoreal imagery of not just of the airport, but of the surrounding cityscape and the surrounding harbour as well, with some beautifully detailed models of the harbour as well. That's just looking amazing. So we've got some beautiful shots from that. As I said, a wonderful little airport with a lot of history, looking pretty nice, pretty amazing as well. So yep, if you're into your US airports in SoCal, this is going to be one for you to go and think about grabbing, that's for sure. Incidentally, this one does require you to have at least either FTX Global Base, or preferably the Southern California region from Orbix as well. So I do highly recommend the SoCal region. I love flying some of the SoCal areas, and it will definitely enhance your experience. But yes, coming in for this one, released as said over at the Orbix web store for 40 Australian dollars, or your regional equivalent. Available now. Alright, and rounding out the releases for this week, so this is a bit of a personal plug here. So recently, I have been teaching myself a little bit about the ESP SDK and how to mess around with aeroplanes. And so for those of you who've been following my channel for a while and who sort of know me in the flight simulation world, you know I've been producing repaints for aircraft for a really long time. But I've decided to try my hand at messing with aircraft, and what I've done is that I haven't done one from the ground up. What I've done is I've taken a Piglet Classic, so one of the great all-time contributors to the flight sim world was, of course, Tim Piglet Conrad. And I've taken one of his earlier releases, his older releases for FS9, which is the fictional CV-10T cargo Bronco. So for those who may not know, the Bronco is a light support aircraft, ground attack aircraft that originally came about during the Vietnam War, and actually, funnily enough, has recently been reintroduced to American service to be able to continue to supply close air support operations to support combat ground troops. Funnily enough, during the Vietnam War, there was proposal, because of such outstanding performance qualities. There was proposals and ideas of actually converting or actually producing a cargo version of the Bronco, to actually basically, instead of having it carry weapons, have it be able to carry cargo and up to 12 up to 12 combat troops in it, and be able to operate in and out of short and remote unprepared strips. Although the Cargo Bronco never left the design, never left the design phase, never left the drawing board, Piglet brought it to life in FS 2002 and then FS9, and it was a lot of fun to fly. And there was a version, there has been a version updated at FSX, but it sort of had a few bugs and a few quirks. I've tried my hand at actually sort of updating an aircraft, so I've released this one for everyone. It is available over at the AvSim library or over at Simviation. I do hope you guys enjoy it. Give me a little bit of feedback if you do enjoy it. If you don't like it, then you can always delete it. But as I said, it's been my first attempt at messing around with an aircraft, so yeah, go and grab it if you want something a little bit weird, a little bit different for your hangar. Go and enjoy it. I do hope you guys enjoy it. And a special shout out thanks to Storm from Rocky Mountain Simulations for a lot of his very patient guidance and pointers in some of the work that goes through with this one. So thank you very much to you, Storm. Alright folks, that does wrap up this simulation news for this release news for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed some of these releases that we cover on the video here. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.